All right, it's casual.
It is.
We're going to start the show like we always do with Jonathan bringing us in with a little music.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right.
Awesome.
Good morning. It's morning
or good
somewhere.
evening, wherever you are in the world. This is an international show.
It is an international show. This is the most ambitious It's Casual I've ever done. And that includes my old show back in 1989-90. We have, or hopefully we'll have, 5 comics on the show tonight from international, from different places around the globe. Now, the reason I say hopefully is because as you guys know, but the audience doesn't know, Alexander from the Ukraine sent me a message about 20 minutes ago saying it's very early in the morning. I can't stay up. I'm falling asleep.
No. That was more of a Mexican accent. You got to do the Ukrainian accent. You morphed into a Dennis Tardon Mexican accent.
You got to sound like Urena.
Yes, you got to. I'm very sleepy. Must go back to sleep. You know,
yes,
something like that.
It's still 30 in the morning. I'm very tired. You knew Alexander. The other guys are laughing in the green room now because they know Alexander. But yes, we do have 4 out of the 5 here. And again, Jonathan last night was texting me, "Oh my God, do you think we could get 6 people on the show?"
We don't really know yet. This is not.
We did it in House Bar. We had 8 of us on screen, and it worked. It was fine.
That's
so
true.
I think we're going to be able to do this tonight. And again, we have another one of these shows coming up in October where we're going to talk to a half a dozen scare actors, people that actually scare people for a living. So that's exciting. So this is the test run for that, and this is going to be a lot of fun because again, these guys, I did comedy with these guys in China. These were the guys that used to come out to open mic and do comedy in the different comedy clubs around South China and in Hong Kong. So, and now they're a different place in the world. One of them is still in China. One of them moved to Tokyo. Another is here in the United States in Washington. And hopefully Alexander will wake up and come and join us. and one of them is in the UK. So it's a very international show. So let's bring these guys up. Bring them up one at a time, and then I'll have them introduce themselves.
Here we are.
There we go.
Oh, wow.
Hello.
All right, so Troy's on top, so I'm going to have Troy introduce himself now and tell us where he is.
I'm Troy. I'm in Japan, so.
You were in Tokyo, is that correct?
Yes, Tokyo, Japan.
And you just took your daughter to school.
Yeah, I took my daughter to school this morning. and I work in the same school, so she's upstairs, I'm downstairs.
Ah, yeah, we saw you walking around when you first came in. That was interesting. Okay.
Yeah, that's
down
how you
below,
get around here.
Brokeback Abby. Could you introduce yourself?
He's pouring a beer.
Pouring
I was
himself a
just
drink.
pouring out a beer. I didn't think it was going to be me.
Didn't know we were kind of come to you.
Right. Well, that just goes to show that I'm definitely the English one. I don't know, but we're relaxing. I'm hanging out with my boys. I'm cracking a beer. Hi, I'm Fraser. I'm from Oxfordshire, and right now I'm just in my flat, and I'm talking to my homies.
It's like 1
That's
o'clock
me.
there, right? 1 a.m. in the morning.
It is exactly, yeah. It's just, yeah, it's about 1 a.m. So yeah,
Just
and
now.
this is only my first, so you know, we're good.
Your first of the
Yeah,
day.
just after 1 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, over to my this side.
Chin
is,
chin.
From Shenzhen, Shako, right?
Yeah.
Introduce yourself, please.
Oh, I'm Dwight Wozich, and I'm in Shenzhen, China.
Very good. Good intro. A lot of excitement there.
Am I supposed to say more words?
Well, you know,
More words about
again,
things?
this is your time to kind of.
Well, I was
shine.
expecting the full
Oh.
intro, expecting the great like, oh,
Oh no, it's all good. No, I'm just happy to be here and happy to see that not much has changed and you guys are all doing well. And Chris still looks like if Breaking Bad were a person. So
Yeah, he's gone through some changes. So, Chris, let's go ahead and have you introduce yourself.
Hey, what's up? My name is Chris Jessop. I'm the one that's in the U.S. It's about 5:08 p.m. here in Washington. I'm living out in Spokane. And while I do look like Breaking Bad was a person, I just have one question, Dwight. What size of KKK hood do you have to have? Because it's probably pretty big. I was assuming, just with like the slick back hair. I mean, I'm jealous that you have it, but I mean, I was hoping, if it's not a big deal. But
Troy is
it's an entry requirement. It's an entry requirement for the Shenzhen Proud Boys. So.
The Shenzhen Proud Boys.
Yeah, I'm the only one, but I'm like the size of 3 people, so it's more like there's a trio of us now. So
you have 3 members, and all of them are you.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask Renee, my producer,
Triple
if
Dwight.
there is a video from a rock and roll star who wanted to wanted to give a message to the group here, and I'm hoping that she has that video because this is pretty special, actually. You guys know this guy. He used to go to your comedy shows.
You bet this is a legend.
I'm Benji Smalls from the heavy metal group Heavy Metal Missile. And I'm friends with several of the lads that are going to be on your show tonight. I know them from Shenzhen. I used to date a bird there back in the day. We used to come to the comedy show to see Chris and Fraser and Dwight and all those cats. So I just want to say, have a great show tonight. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Yeah.
So we were very happy to get the message from Benji
I
Smalls.
can't believe he said my name.
And,
Yeah, dude, getting a shout out from Benji Smalls, bro. That's amazing.
there we go. You know,
Oh
you
my
guys
God,
are popular.
It's crazy how much he sounds like my grandfather. My grandfather sounds exactly like that.
You know, Dwight used to always bust my balls for doing comedy that
So
only
well
your
done.
grandpas would understand. You're
You
working
guys
with great
remember-
impressions. It's a shame that only our grandfathers would understand
Yeah.
them.
You guys remember Abbott and Costello? Remember Abbott and Costello?
Hey, wait, before I get off stage, you guys want to hear my Snagglepuss impression?
I mean,
Heavens
Yeah,
to
dude,
Murgatroyd.
you do that all the time. That was so awesome, dude. I loved it when you did your impressions because the thing, and I've had so many conversations with Fraser about this, but like, it was so fun, Rory, when you were on stage, because like, regardless if you were bobbing or not, you were having a good time. And that was the funniest thing for us, is because you would be able to just sit there and just rifle through.
It was always the most fun thing.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was just
Dr.
we
Ferraro
felt
was
good.
a big hit there.
And you could just see that he's having the best time.
And the general I can't remember his name off the top of my head. We've actually done little bits of him on this show. Howitzer, General Howitzer.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Never made it on that stage.
Well, it's because I don't think the audience really understood what you were trying to do. Like, you were trying to get them involved in your act, and they were just sitting there like, "Oh, is there punchlines here or not?" Okay, looks like. And then like me and Dwight and everybody else would have to be like, "Oh, okay, ask stupid interview questions. Ready, go."
Again, and you and Dwight never disappointed. Yeah. And if Nick Milnes was in the room, he would always come up with some funny thing to say, and that's why I was having a good time, Yeah, I did wish I got more interaction, but there it is. So now, Troy, you actually won a competition there, right?
Yeah, that was a good night.
Yeah,
really
the only
fun,
reason why he won is because I had to open for him, dude.
Yeah. Warm him up.
Yeah, man, good job warming him up.
That was
awesome.
That was actually when you guys were at Macaulay's.
Yeah.
The original place that we started doing was what the hell was the name of that place?
Luna.
Frankie's.
Luna. Club Luna was.
I thought it was.
No. It was before Luna. There was another place before Luna.
Yeah, we did.
What was the other place? There was a place that was before Luna.
I think I came to Luna. Yeah. And then they ended up at Macaulay's. Dwight, what is the situation there now as far as the comedy and
so Luna and Macaulay's are both closed now. Macaulay's
I knew Macaulay's had closed. Yeah.
Mm-hmm, they just closed down completely, like all their remaining around the city. And then Luna. So Luna was part of like a hotel. If you guys remember, it was kind of like part of a hotel complex. And that was a quarantine hotel during the.
I didn't know they were part of the same thing. I thought they were kind of separate.
Yeah. Well, so all the businesses in the building have been shut down, and they put up a fence around the outside of it because they're like letting it decontaminate or something.
Wow.
So we might need
your that question next. Where you are now, tell us what the situation is. Tell us if there's any comedy going on where you are now. Let's start with Chris, since he's next to me up here now.
Sure. Yeah, dude, I'm out here in Spokane, man. It's a pretty healthy scene. I am so glad to be doing comedy consistently again. Like, after I got back from China, I took the long way around the planet home, and I went to England and I hung out with Fraser for about a week and a half.
Cool.
Did a gig out there, just a regular open mic. And it was fun, man. It was a great time. And then now getting back, like, I got back in September of 2019, and then COVID hit in December. Well, in the US it hit in March or whatever it was, but shut everything down. And I did only one gig before quarantine in the States, and I had a horrible time. It was just dog shit. It was not fun.
Here.
Yeah,
exactly,
it was really
the same situation here.
And so I was like, I just had a horrible experience with these people that I thought were like good comics, and they couldn't take a joke. I was like roasting one of the best comedians in the area because I had like looked them up, and I went on right after them, and so I roasted them. And like, her material basically revolved around hooking up with a bald guy, and I looked like this. And so like there was like this palpable like irony in the room. Like I walked on stage after she did all that all those jokes, and people are like ribbing each other like, oh man, like it was probably him or whatever. So I just like tried to break the tension and that kind of stuff. But she didn't really appreciate it, and came up to me after the show and was like, hey, yeah, knock it the fuck off. Can we swear, Rory? Is that okay?
Yeah. It's
okay, cool. All right, sweet. Now, now getting back to like once things open back up again.
Fuck for that.
It was. It's been fun, man. Like, the Spokane Comedy Club is kind of the premier the club that everyone wants to be at. And in this area, like, of course, Seattle has a bunch of stuff, and, you know, down in Oregon and California, they have everything down there. But here in this specific area, you go like a 250-mile radius around Spokane, and this is the spot to be for comedy. And it's great, man. Moving on up, I'm you know, cutting my teeth with some new material. Of course, everyone has about 15, you know, mediocre minutes on COVID, and that kind of stuff. But I'm glad to kind of get back into it, man. It's been so fun.
That's where you get the laughs. That's where you get the laughs. Fraser, what's the situation where you are? How are things in the comedy world there? Or,
not good.
Or maybe you're not doing comedy. I don't know. You know, what's it like there?
Well, I came back. Well, I actually got banned as soon as I got back. I got back.
Really?
And yeah, got banned from the local mics. I did 3 open mics, and I got back. There was this guy who had an open mic in my town and the next town over, and I go and do the first open mic, and I bring all my friends, my family, and I just go in. I killed. I slayed. You know when you know that, like, I did well. I came out and, like, people like give me high fives. It was a great night. The guy loved me. And then
Fraser killing, that's new. About
on the 3rd show. Oh, shut the fuck up, you bald twat.
See, and this is what I love about this group. We all bust
anyway, he liked me, and then and then on the 3rd night, it was a show where there wasn't that many people. There was probably about 6 audience members. So I was kind of had a joke sort of that I was kind of sitting on, that I was like, well, I'm just going to try it tonight, see how it goes down. It was right around Brexit, so it was like a Brexit joke, and I didn't really know what it was. It was me just on stage kind of hearing it out loud for the first time, and it kind of resulted in me calling everyone who voted for Brexit the R word that's no longer politically correct for people with disabilities. And that was the point of it, that it was kind of like shock value. And I was just kind of like, there's not many people here. It would kind of be funny. But there was a table of about 4 older people probably in their about 60s, 70s, who clearly did vote for Brexit. And they complained, and I got thrown off that all those mics I'm no longer allowed to go to. So now I've gone to London, I've gone to Bristol, I've had to go a bit further away, but Oxfordshire in general, bad comedy. Never come here. I hope they see this right now. I'm calling them out.
Well,
no,
I hope
there was a guy.
No,
legit, there was a guy on the first mic. I hope so. Yeah. There was a guy on the first mic who he did 5 minutes just on ironing, without saying a single joke. He just described ironing, and that was it. That was fine. And then I go up and talk about, you know, ladyboys in Thailand, and I'm a bad boy. So, but yeah. So right now I'm just still writing, and I'm kind of I'm going outside of the to explore more comedy, but I haven't quite been able to find the same energy from that we had in the Shenzhen mics. There was such welcoming, you know, community we had, and it was always just so much fun. That's what was great about Shenzhen. Every night it was like we're going there to have fun. It's not so much that it's like performed. It's more we're just going to go hang out, and if it's good, it's not really, we're hanging out and trying jokes, trying to make each other laugh. And the comedy here is very much like, we're here we are now, entertain us. You know, so it's kind of weird, kind of adjusting to that whole vibe of it. But yeah, you know, anyway, comedy.
I was going to go to Troy next, but is he there? He keeps popping in and out. Troy, what's it like in Tokyo? How's that working out for you?
There's a lot of Japanese people here. They're everywhere. The trains are crowded. Everyone wears masks though, so that's cool. I guess depending on which side of the line you're on that.
Awesome.
Comedy wise, you know, I'm funny. Like I go to places and people laugh when I'm on stage. So, that's always fun. That's
good. We know you're.
That's what you
I
look
don't
for.
find the comedy. The comedy finds me.
They get a lot of little girls come up
Exactly.
to you. Oh, you are very strong. You're handsome. Yes. You get a lot of that.
It's interesting how good you are at that, Rory. That's exactly what they sound like everywhere I go.
I actually did that bit on stage in China. It didn't go over.
It didn't go over well because it wasn't because of the accent. It was because they just don't like Japanese people in China. That's why it bombed.
Yeah, this is true. This is true. They're kind of like the French of the Asian sector. So yeah, nobody likes them over there. It's a shame.
Nobody likes anybody in Asia.
Who's the father?
We do.
That is true. Nobody likes anybody.
They don't like anybody in Asia. That's how it goes. I host an open mic on Mondays here.
Mondays.
And Monday night open mics. I don't promote it because of COVID. There's still restrictions here, so bars are supposed to close by 8. So technically, we're not supposed to be doing it. In terms of like showcases, lately I've been doing shows with. I'm sure you know Evans, comedian from Kenya. He's been putting on shows, so I've been doing those with some black soldiers from the military bases up here. So I get to go up there and kind of Def Comedy jam it up a little bit, do some type of do the type of jokes I couldn't do in China. Say just aggressively racist about white people. So that's fun.
That's true. We were actually restricted where we were. We couldn't talk about the Chinese government at all. As a matter of fact, I think one person, not in this group, but one person got in trouble for that. Somebody turned them in.
Dude. Yeah.
So you had to be careful. You had to be
raided.
careful not to poke fun at the Chinese government when you were doing comedy there.
Yeah, it's bad news, man.
Yeah.
Can I tell the joke that I always wanted to tell?
They're very paranoid.
Chris, you got a joke you always wanted to tell?
I wrote this probably like 3 weeks into being in China, and I always wanted to tell it, but I couldn't because I was scared. Okay.
Okay.
So it's a simple, it's like a joke book type of question. So here's the premise, or here's the setup. Why are there no Chinese long jumpers in the Olympics? Because last time they took a great leap forward, everybody starved.
Oh.
Yeah,
that was a good move not doing that one there.
Yeah, I know, which is why I didn't do it.
You don't make fun of me.
If the government is listening into this call, I don't know this person.
Oh yes, I forgot.
One of us is still there. It's me.
Starved
Dwight,
for
how are things there now? I've been hearing some things from my wife that. Anyway, is everything okay?
Yeah, I mean, like we obviously got hit by the pandemic, like everybody else, and we were the whole city of Shenzhen was locked down for a little over a month, and then things kind of slowly got back to normal. But one of the cool things was like we were locked down for a month, but like a lot of people were still able to work, and they never really have completely shut things down like they did everywhere else. I think that's probably because like Chinese people are pretty good at following the rules when they're told and all that kind of stuff, and so people kind of fell into line really quick, and everybody's
drinking their hot water.
So
they
got over this thing in just like a couple of months, and then it stayed. They maintained right up till now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how completely they've ever really gotten over it. I think the COVID is still around. They've just been blaming it on things like imported Brazilian chicken wings or something like that.
That's where I would put them.
Yeah, which is a person who likes to eat chicken wings. Like, I can't attest that I have ever gotten one that had COVID on it, but like, yeah.
Like a garlic, like salt.
Yeah.
You got COVID on my chicken wing. You got chicken wing on my COVID.
Now, Troy, they locked it down pretty quickly in Japan too, right?
No. No. Because the Olympics, man, they
keeps
tried to
rearing its ugly
ignore it.
head?
Yeah, they so it's like really hard to get tested here. Like you have to like have like extreme symptoms to get tested.
Yeah.
It's like that keeps the numbers down. Yeah. They and they didn't lock anything down. They just said restaurants need to close at 8. So
Yeah. They're doing
we
that
just walking
now
around sick.
here. You know, that stuff
Oh
doesn't stay
yeah.
open late at night anymore. It closes down earlier. But I've been working again now for over a month, security at a department store, and their hours are like from 11 to 7 or 11 to 8 now. So
Dude,
yeah,
wait a second. Hold on. Rory, you're doing security?
I am.
Dude, oh my God. That is
Camera
that is
security.
cool.
What you're seeing on your phone now is what I see every day.
Oh, damn it. I was hoping you would like have a uniform and like a taser and like that
No,
kind of shit.
no. I'm not mall cop.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
poor
that's
black.
I'm
what
safe
I
in my
needed.
little booth away from
God
everybody
damn
else.
it, no.
I
You
was
don't even
hoping
get
you were guarding something valuable so I could come through and steal it.
That's awesome.
Have you been stealing? Have you ever seen someone stealing and then gone over the tannoy bin? Put it down and get out. Get out the department store.
Every day somebody tries to take something and we usually catch them before they get out the door. Anyway, and I'm hoping that there's some way where I'll be able to talk about that on a show like this, but keep my anonymity and tell people exactly, because it's weird, the stuff that we look for that's a red flag. It's really funny. But anyway, you guys gave me some interesting promotional shots for my ads for this show, and I'm going to go to Renee now, and we're gonna put up a couple of these that we didn't use for our ads. Renee's going to her screen now. Let's show the first picture of Chris that has a piece of art that an artist obviously did of you when you were doing a show.
Yeah, man. This
And I
young
gotta
lady.
say,
That's pretty cool.
it looks like you.
Yeah, no, she's very talented.
dig it.
So it's actually pretty sweet. So this piece of art is done by my friend Amy, and Amy's a stand-up comic, and she's hilarious and she's great. She's definitely not watching this, but she does this thing where she says, like, she has this giant like almost like a trapper keeper kind of idea, but just full of just gel pens of all these different types of colors. And she says, pick the first one, or pick the pen that speaks to you, right? And so you just like grab it, and then she's like, all right, perfect. And then she looks at you and you make eye contact and you don't blink. That's the rule. And she does not look down to her paper and like draws you or whatever. She just looks at it and just kind of vaguely does a caricature of you without looking at the paper. And she does it for a
You know
minute.
what's happening? You're concentrating on this woman while she's drawing you, while she's got some little rap scallywag behind you picking your pockets. You have no idea that is a distraction.
Okay.
And you're getting Oliver twisted, my friend.
That's totally fine, because you know what? I've always wanted to have my own Titanic moment, and this is it. So
Can you show the other picture of Chris with holding the photo? It's right before that one.
where are we at here? Yeah, man. And she's great, dude. She's awesome. And she's so nice.
That's a
and
cute one,
she's
Dwight.
There it
absolutely
is.
wonderful. Yeah, she's
You can
great.
see how,
Yeah,
how,
there's me.
how you
That's
can see how
actually-
you're
that's-
very pleased to be part of that.
Yeah, she asked me to pose. And so I was like, all right, I'll just sit and rest my face in my hands. And so that picture that you see
She's
right
giving you a
now.
Homer Simpson head.
Yeah, and I'm fine with that, because look at me, Fraser. I have a Homer Simpson head.
So
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't say you got
doing a drawing of me.
Oh, man,
a
she's
your
great.
head. That's
Okay, now Troy sent me several headshots, several pictures that I could use for our ads. All of you guys gave me pictures late, so I only got 3 ads done. But
All right.
Troy is all about
I
product placement.
I wasn't able to get sent any.
There he is. He's all about product
Let's
placement.
go. Yes.
He's selling, man.
Let's go.
Hey,
Can you show me the other picture?
He beat some
hold
beer.
on, before you leave that picture, there's something around your neck that says white on it, and there's some comedic irony in that lanyard, Troy,
below that.
I think that's great.
Oh yeah.
I can't see
Let's
it.
go, baby. He's off white.
The picture right after that. Oop, here's the artwork. There he is. Now, if you look carefully, you'll see that Coke can very clearly over to his right. He's all about the product placement.
I didn't send these pictures. Was it to you? You're on my Facebook
ass
or
right now.
Oh, that might have
You're
been one
looking
that
at my
I took.
Facebook
Yeah,
pictures.
that might have been one that I took.
That's
This
at
is
the
Dwight,
Thailand,
and I
Bangkok
call this
Comedy
one
Festival.
There She
That's
Blows.
awesome.
Oh.
Dwight went into the studio, and they gave him a chair to work around, and he improvised around the chair. And I really like this one.
Dude, that's
This is
great.
that
That's a really
childlike
good
quality
one.
in Dwight that we all love so much.
That's a
Dude, that's only like 25% of your head. That's awesome.
cheeky boy.
Oh, there's Alexander. Let's watch his comedy clip since he's not here.
Here's all
We'll just criticize the hell out of him.
So,
Please.
I used to work as an English translator.
I'm gonna need another beer for this.
And if
I'm
you're an
glad
English
that
translator in Ukraine,
they've got the subtitles.
90% you work in a dating agency. So I used to work as a dating agency translator. And if you're an American guy who was texting a Ukrainian girl with big boobs and long legs, it is nice to see you.
Big boobs gets a laugh every time.
Do you guys remember when he first told that joke?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I like to communicate with foreign people, but sometimes there is some misunderstanding. For example, recently there was an Italian girl, she was sleeping over there, and she said, "I'm not like Ukrainian women. I don't care about a man's credit card." I didn't know Italians take cash only. Actually, a German guy as well. Recently I was in a bar with a German guy, and he told me, "Why do we Europeans need to pay for you Ukrainians?" I say, "It's a simple question, I tell you, after you buy me a drink."
I'm so upset
my
he
major
opted for sleep.
I remember the first time that Alex told that joke in Luna. That was such an awesome bit, and I love that bit so much.
So funny.
Was that Fraser?
So funny. He changed the game. He changed the game, that guy. Oh, that's
Unbombable.
me. All right. Okay. Right. Can I explain this clip?
Well,
Okay.
I was about to
Right,
ask if you
okay.
could, because
I
what
got
the
this
hell
clip.
is going on with your outfit?
I was in Bangkok, and I was like trying to I don't know. When I was in Bangkok, I thought I was Johnny Depp in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Honestly, that's what was happening.
That's
And
what that looked like.
I went to this club, did it, and this isn't the best I've done this thing. I only chose this clip because I thought Alex was going to be here, and it's his favorite joke of mine.
Yeah, so I'm still kind of like trying to figure myself out as a comedian. You know, I noticed all the big comedians, they have like a shtick, you know, something they talk about on stage. You know, like Jerry Seinfeld, he's Jewish. Kevin Hart, you know, he's short. And Amy Schumer's not funny. So people say like, oh, but you know, you're British. You say that you're British, but yeah, I know, but being British, that's like being American, but you know, better. Don't say oh, because you know it's right. Listen to this accent. Come on. So like, but Americans, I've been around Americans quite a bit now, and Americans are just so optimistic. How are you so happy all the time? I went to America, and in America they have a thing that we don't have in England called customer service, right? I went into a shop in America, and as soon as my foot was in the door, he was like, "Hey buddy, how you been? From out of town? Where you from?" I was like, Jesus Christ, fucking hell. I was in this place for 5 minutes. By the time I left, I knew this guy's name, where he grew up. I knew that his uncle used to touch him a little bit. Fucking hell. But in England, we're silent and quiet. We walk in, get our things, leave. If you accidentally make eye contact with a shop assistant, that's like accidentally swiping right on Tinder. Like, fuck, now he thinks I'm interested. Jesus. Hey, do you need help? No, fuck off. Enjoy myself. But in China, they're different. Like, they're somewhere between England and America, but they don't say anything, but they're there. Just breathing down your neck, just... I thought it was a customer, so I was like, oh, sorry, did you want to have a look? And they're just like, So I start moving, and as I'm moving, he's following me. Anyway, to the point I'm actually fucking jogging around the shop. I was like, that's what they should use to try out new trainers, and just be followed by fucking spouses. But yeah, no, it's cool. I've been in Thailand now for about
That's fantastic.
Man. So in Thailand, everybody wears shorts. So that's
I haven't seen that in a long time. Yeah, and like stupid hats and shirts, and I think my opening line was same as most. It was as you can see tonight, I came dressed as a gay Indiana Jones. And it was usually always my opener because it's nice and easy. Just what you said, there you go. What?
Oh, I was just agreeing with you.
What did you say?
I said, there you go, as in like,
oh, right.
joke.
I thought you said
yeah, there's a little
like,
bit of a delay, I think, from where you are.
I thought, right, my bad. Yeah, I think there's a bit of a delay. I thought you said, there you go, like I just came back. You'd lost me, so, or you were just cutting me off. I'm sorry. But yeah, it was a great time. But yeah, I chose that clip because Alex loved that joke and he used to always ask me to do it. And he told me once that he stole it and did it at work and he apologized. And I thought that was very, very sweet of him.
I'm so sad that he opted out for sleep. He was just too tired to do the show.
Oh, I know.
We've been trying to get him on this.
I'm
the second time that
disappointed.
we've tried to have him on the show, and he's unfortunately had to bail out because it's just too early in the morning for him. I think we've got a clip of Troy as well. Am I correct?
Oh, that's not Troy.
No, well, that's Chris, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it is. Oh wait, is it not? Is that not Troy?
Hey, look at
gosh, I can never tell those two apart. Honestly,
vaccinated. All right. Yeah, I got the vaccine as well. I'm a healthcare professional, so I got it when it was like brand new in like the development stages. Like before I got, yeah, thank you. Yeah, really ahead of the curve. We didn't flatten it, but whatever. No, I got it when it was still in development, and like before I got the first dose, I had a full head of hair and I could see well. And now I look like a pale trailer hitch that can't see shit. Yeah. And that was just the first dose, dude. That was the first dose. I get the second dose, dude, and I'm just waiting for that sweet, sweet autism to set in any day now. It's gonna be so awesome to not make eye contact with people and be obsessed with trains. It's gonna be sick.
This is the material the other guys have not heard yet from you.
Yeah. No, that's
a new bit.
That's my vaccine
and for
bit.
some reason, there was a peacock in the back of the room.
Oh, okay. So, I want to tell you about that a little bit because, like, every time that I've shown that clip to somebody, okay.
How much were you paying that guy to be enthusiastic?
Nobody's paying that guy to be enthusiastic. He's another comic who was there at the show. He's my buddy Theo, and he has an iconic laugh, and it's annoying as shit. But it's fun though, like, when you get somebody that laughing, and he's a buddy, and everything. So when I got off stage that night, and he was like, man, you called yourself a pale trailer hitch, man. That is hilarious. And I was like, oh, thanks, dude. Like, can you shut the fuck up next time? Because Jesus Christ, you're ruining my audio. Like,
yeah. I'm just trying to make a decent tape here.
Yeah.
Back in China.
All right.
Yeah, like I told my friends back home about living in China. They were like, "Oh, dude, like, what's it like being black in China?" So yeah, it's not as bad as being black in the States, I guess. It's all right. But there's different places that you go. Like I've had like one encounter with a police officer. It was actually in Hong Kong. The guy stopped me and he asked me for my Hong Kong ID. And I was like, I don't have a Hong Kong ID. I live in China. And he was like, oh, ni hao. Like, bro, I'm not Chinese, man. We just speaking English. I thought we had a good thing going. So the guy proceeds to go through my bags, and like halfway through, I start getting nostalgic. Like, oh, this is just like home. I'm ready for my pat down, officer. That doesn't happen in China. In China, the police officer look at me and they see I'm wearing Nike shoes, and they go, "Oh, he's not African. He must be American." And then they start naming random NBA players. James Harden. Pretty cool. But like I said before, like my lady, she's Japanese, and I'm like, nah. So we have a mixed baby. And then living in China, I realized that Chinese people really love mixed babies. Yeah. As long as they're mixed with white. I don't think they like my baby too much. The reason why is because like if they think my baby's cute, they don't say, "Hey man, you have a cute baby." What they say is like, "Oh, she's not so black."
Oh. Dude, that's awesome.
I think one of his lines on that was, "She looks just like you," right?
Yeah.
So your wife
Yeah,
is
dude,
Japanese,
jokes are
right?
great, aren't they?
What's that? Your wife's Japanese. She gives you a lot of support with your comedy. She used to come to a lot of the shows.
My wife hates me, man.
Ah!
She can't
Well, you
stand
wouldn't
me.
have known
She
it
hates
from our
comedy.
shows because she used to come a lot and she's blood.
Yeah, just to look at me angrily. She just wanted. She did not laugh. She used to come just not to laugh in my face.
Oh. Well, your stuff was very funny. Still is very funny. And again, you won an award there. So, wow. Sorry to hear that. Your daughter is adorable
Thank you, guys.
too. I know she must be, God, what, 6 or 7 now, right?
She turned 3 like yesterday.
3.
Rory's concept of time is a little skewed.
Yeah, it's
Oh my
because
goodness.
I was trapped in my house for over a year.
Oh, I thought it was just like you just living in the past.
That too. Those were. It's hard for me to really believe that it was just 2.5 years ago that we were all together on stage.
Nuts.
It seems like it was longer than that. It seems like it was 5 years ago to me. So thanks for calling me on my show.
It does feel like. No.
Doesn't it feel like
Chris
it's been
is
longer?
aged like 20
I miss you
years.
guys.
I know, dude. I lost all my fucking hair. Like, I mean, that's how stressful. Like, I showed up to China with hair very similar to Dwight's, and I left looking like this. So if you're thinking like, oh man, I want to live in Asia for a year, like, don't. Your stress levels just go through the roof, man. Like, you just lose all your hair, and it's just gone from there. And this is the only thing that I can grow a good beard, but I mean, mustaches are in now for some reason. So I'm just gonna ride that wave.
Mustache
You're
ride.
aging like a loaf of bread.
Hang on, speak for yourself. Look at this. Look at that.
Yeah.
So
Nah.
that's a good thing to ask all of you guys. What kind of support do you get for your comedy?
Still
Support?
Yeah.
So what do you mean by support? Like just like friends that show up, like that kind
Friends,
of thing?
family, who's your cheerleading section? Who supports you?
It's
Or just
for
other
me.
comics?
Do you mind if I start? Is that okay?
This is awkward.
I have my comedy friends who, like, a lot of the open mics here in Spokane are like you're performing for other comedians, right? We had those nights when we were out in China too, where like it was raining really heavy and nobody showed up to the mic, and it was just like us 4 or 5, or maybe on a good night we would have 8 comics there. And like it's the same kind of thing. So like they don't show up to support. Most of the time when you're performing for comics, it's like they're just waiting for their turn to talk, or if they've already gone, they're looking at your comedy like, oh man, I could tell that joke so much better than he can. And so it's not, but it's like fun though, and sometimes friends and coworkers show up, but most of the time it's just me and my moleskin notebook, dude. So
Well, and there's something that was crazy about China is we would go to the open mics and there would be, it's China, how many foreigners are there that do comedy?
Not a
but
lot.
like 13 or 15 guys would show up to go up to open mic night there.
Yeah.
What kind of support are you getting there in Chicago, Dwight?
Oh, I mean, well, my girlfriend, so I have a girlfriend now, and we live together and stuff, and she's pretty supportive and
stuff.
And stuff. And she'll come to like my page shows. She doesn't like come into the open mics, but we still have a pretty active like community in terms of like stand up here in Shenzhen. So of course there's like a lot of other comics and around that I hang out with and stuff. Like I just went to an open mic last night. And then also like we were like one of the first groups to actively start back up again after the lockdown and like actually be doing like live events and shows and stuff. And so that kind of gave us a little bit of a boost. And we've got a pretty decent following of people that come to the open mics and will come to our paid shows and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool actually. Like we've never really had like a big drop off in terms of like people wanting to come out for comedy and stuff like that.
Solid, man. That's great.
Yeah.
How many regulars are there nowadays? Like, so back then we had about 7. I think there is a bit of delay on my mic, so I don't mean to be butting in.
Oh no, that's okay. So you only get about 7 for the open mic. Well, when you're able to go. So our question.
I was asking Dwight. I was saying Dwight, like back in the day, like how many regulars are still there? I think I'm chunking. Sorry, guys.
Oh, not that many, to be honest. Like that's kind of the weird part. So like there's definitely like people wanting to have more comedy, but there's only about like 4 or 5 people that actually regularly show up and are like invested in actually, like trying to be on stage regularly and be funny and entertaining and whatnot. Like so, that's been kind of weird. But
is Mr. Ryan still there?
Yeah, he's still here doing his like really awful crowd work and killing the room for everybody before they go on stage. So
love it.
That's awesome, man. Hey, sir, you're pretty attractive.
I'm so happy to hear that.
I don't really swing that way, but I am from San Francisco, so.
For my audience, Mr. Ryan was the guy that used to host our open mic nights in China. There were 2 or 3 of them, and he would be the host, and he would be the guy that would pull it all together. And that was a pretty good impersonation of him, actually. The question from the audience was, "Who are your favorite comics?" And we'll start in reverse order now. Let's go with Dwight on that.
Oh man, so my favorite comics is I'm like Rory. I do some impressions and stuff and like characters in my sets, and so like some of my favorite comics are Frank Caliendo for doing characters and impressions, and Bill Hader, and then in terms of just pure stand up, I got into comedy listening to like George Carlin, and in terms of current people who are like still pretty relevant and performing regularly, I like Bill Burr and
Bill Burr.
Yeah, Bill Burr, and then like
that fucking guy.
Yeah, the best special I watched recently was from a guy, Shane Gillis. You guys watch that at all? Yeah,
so good, dude. Yeah. It's so good.
real good. And I
if
like
you
him a
guys
lot.
are not on Clubhouse yet, there's a lot of comedy stuff going on Clubhouse. Get in there.
All right.
On Thursday nights, Dwight, we do Impersonation Nation, where it's just a group of guys and girls get together and do impersonations for an hour and a half.
Awesome.
It's a lot of fun. So, okay, Troy, favorite comics? I know you're a Jamie Foxx fan.
I think he's a good actor. My favorite comics are me, there's Wanda Sykes, Amy Schumer, Ali Wong, Chelsea Peretti. Lots of chicks. I like chicks. They're funny to me. And then I'm funny to me. I like to do shows and record my sets and then ride around town and just listen to myself. And I laugh audibly.
just wail laughing. Understood.
Yeah, when people ask me, what are you laughing at? I say, me. And I walk away.
Gotta get that phone call.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. There's a student here, so I kind of gotta go now.
Okay.
Doesn't see you guys.
Well, thank you so much. What's going on, man? Take care, my brother.
Awesome.
Peace.
All right.
Dude, nice seeing you.
Bye, Momoka. Bye-bye. Say bye-bye. All right, see you guys.
All right.
She's been there like 30 minutes. My bad. All right, peace out.
Oh, God, we got in trouble. And then there were 3. And then there were 4. All right. Fraser Brokeback Abbey. Favorite comics.
Yeah. Well, I guess Troy is probably up there. I mean, Dave Chappelle, obviously, but everyone loves Dave Chappelle. I love Anthony Jeselnik. I think he's brilliant. Like how he's cutthroat. I know you're not supposed to anymore, kind of, but Louis C.K., his jokes are incredible. Jim Jeffries, I kind of like the kind of deep ones. I like the comics that usually have like a story. Yeah, brilliant comedian. I like comedians that usually like to have a good story and tell it funny, and they're always the things I really like.
They've tainted their legacy by,
Mm-hmm.
Say la vie.
Absolutely,
Right,
it's a shame. But other than that, I don't know. Rory Penland as well, without a doubt.
Nah, don't kiss up now.
I'm not kissing up. That's all. I still laugh about the memory of Bruce Lowe. I still think about it.
Just on another show. We did another show here on the Socially Distant Fest, and my house, and I went on as Bruce Lowe.
God damn it!
Oh, which reminds me, I want to introduce you guys.
Me
to
and Chris
mine.
talk to each other. We talk about that to each other a lot.
This is a guy named Roland. He's very similar to someone that we used to do comedy with us in China. Do we have that videotape of Roland Pruitt? I hope you guys like this. This is Roland Pruitt, and I am a big fan of Godzilla and kaiju. That's the Japanese word for monster. Kaiju. So Godzilla and Rodan, Ghidorah, all that stuff. So I do kaiju paintings, and I want to show you a couple of them. This is original King Kong from King Kong versus Godzilla in 1953, and I also painted that Godzilla.
God damn it, dude!
It's a set. This is Godzilla from 1968. He's my favorite Godzilla from the Showa series. The Showa series is the original Godzilla films from 1956, actually 1954 to 1970.
You corrected yourself.
Igan, who is a kick-ass cyborg villain from outer space. This is Gara, the green gargantua, and his brother, Sanda, the brown gargantua, although he looks kind of yellow, so I got to put a little more brown in him, I think. I got to maybe retouch this up.
His brother.
King Caesar, who is buried in a cave until they call him to come out and fight monsters, and he's a real badass. And, of course,
Mecha Godzilla, the original Mecha Godzilla, the cool Mecha Godzilla. The new one's kind of weird with those weird hands and stuff, so I don't like him so much. But this is the real Mecha Godzilla. So
God, that's so fucking funny.
Hi, this is Roland Pruitt, and
oh my God, that's so.
Hey,
funny.
how y'all doing?
Hey,
I just want to introduce myself. I'm brother Rory. My name is Jelly Cake Making. And I just been watching the show, and I asked Rory if I could come up for just a second and say hello to y'all.
yo, what's up?
I wish that I had known you guys back in China.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Rory tells me all kinds of crazy stories about you guys and everything, man. So, and it's a shame I didn't get to meet Troy. I really want to say hi to Troy, man. He seems like a real cool dude. So, anyway, I got some music to get to. I gotta go sing the Corn Dog Blues somewhere. But I'm gonna have you guys talk amongst yourselves for a minute while I go get Rory back. All right. You guys keep it real. All right. Take care. Love you guys, man. You're the best.
See you later, man.
All right.
My favorite thing about whatever that guy's name was that he like gave us permission to talk amongst ourselves. Like, all right, guys, now that you guys are done with me, now you can have your time. Like, what the fuck, dude? Like,
it's the element of surprise, Rory. That's what matters. It's the element of
The
surprise.
character you guys never got to meet. He came later.
Oh my God. I'll get to my favorite comics in a second, but have you told the story about when you did the Bruce Lowe nunchuck accidents twice?
Well, no, what happened was, and I have to run that clip on the show sometime. Maybe I'll do it next week.
But do it.
What happened was I had made up these nunchucks to do with the Bruce Lowe thing where I was going to show you my awesome kung fu ability. The damn thing broke.
Chris forgot to do it. Chris, he did it. He did it, Chris.
Everybody was laughing. They were just in hysterics. So I said, you know what? I'm keeping this in. So I actually rigged the thing to break every time I did the Bruce Lowe.
God damn it. The thing was, like, the thing that was weird about it is that it was, like, legitimately
hang on. It hit a lady in her face.
Yeah.
Oh, God. It did. It hit a lady.
I didn't know it hit a lady in the face. And shit, and then just also like out into the crowd and just like domes a lady right in the face.
They were soft. They were really soft. They were made out of, tissue paper and, and some duct tape around it.
She handed it back.
It's like yellow duct tape on cardboard tubes with tissue paper.
Awesome.
So, so I did it every time. When I went to Hong Kong, I rigged it up to do it again. And and I always had a second pair of nunchucks in my rear end. Luckily, I have another pair with me.
Okay, so my favorite comics right now, what's great about like being so close to like a premier club in Spokane is that like you get to see really big names every weekend. Cool. If you want, and so I've been, just trying to get to know the manager there, and we've become like pretty good friends and like that kind of stuff. And so I'm able to go down and like be an usher and get in the show for free, and that kind of stuff. I can't begin to tell or say like how much I appreciate that opportunity, because like this last weekend I saw Ari Shaffir, like.
Wow.
And I got to see like all of his shows, and I got to be there the whole night. And just like I went up to him after the show and I was like, "Hey, great set tonight, man." And he was like, "Hey, are you a comic?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm a comic." He's like, "Dude, that's dope, man. You're out here like working like a slave for the club. I used to do that at the Comedy Store." So like it's like this kind of cool vibe. I saw Steve Ranasitsky, Drew Lynch. Drew Lynch is amazing on stage, by the way. He's the guy who stutters. And he is lights out with crowd work, man. He is so funny.
And that's the way it is sometimes with comics. There are comics like Richard Belzer is a prime example. I've seen clip after clip after clip of Richard Belzer, and I didn't think he was that funny. And then I saw him live, and it was like, oh my God, this is like night and day. He is so incredibly funny and smart on stage. Yeah. Why is it that he can't translate that to videos when they do videos?
Sometimes it's like that, Like, but I mean, So as far as my favorite comics are concerned, I'm really on a Mark Normand kick right now. I got to meet him and talk to him for a while. Actually, he had a tweet. This is actually kind of an interesting story. So he had this tweet that was talking about how weird it is that, you know, we have a drink in the US called the Irish car bomb. Like nobody in Ireland is like, oh, hey, can I get an American mass shooting, please? Like, right. So that's the premise. But the thing is, I was telling a joke very, very similar to that back in China.
Oh, wow.
Dwight, yeah, you probably remember that bit. Don't you? Yeah.
So I remember something like that you did.
Yeah, so I was doing this bit. I mean, I've been having this bit kind of just like in my back pocket for a long time. And so he tweeted that. That tweet went viral. And then, or the night before that tweet went viral, I did that joke on stage and just killed. And so then I had a bunch of my comic friends like, how the hell did you steal Mark Normand's bit? And I was just so pissed. And so then like a few weeks later, he shows up to Spokane, and I went to a bunch of his shows and stuff. I was able to seat for the club. And then afterwards I was like, hey man, like I want to this is kind of a cool little thing. And so I told him about all that stuff. And he was like, okay, run that joke by me one more time. So I did my bit for him, and he was like, oh man, that's cool. It's all right. Don't worry about it. And so, like, I got Mark Normand's permission to kind of use the same premise. So.
There you go. All right, guys. Well, believe it or not, it's over an hour now, so we got to shut down. But thank you so much for coming in. Yeah, it flies by when you're having fun, when you're with old friends, man. We'll definitely have to get you guys on another show in the near future.
Absolutely.
Maybe some more time. Again, love you guys. Miss you so much. Glad to hear that you're doing okay.
Yeah, for sure.
And thank you.